So that's right by Jimmy Pierce. This over here is Clinton Reeser. We're putting this haunted asylum together for the Memorial Park. So I just kind of want to thank everybody for willing to help us this year. Last year it was great. Had a bunch of great people showed up. So I'm pretty sure, I guess you guys are a new class for this year. So we just kind of go over everything. We'll go through the layout and kind of what we're needing and looking for. And I figured I'd post this on YouTube, that way you guys can watch it. If you're watching this tomorrow, which would be today or tomorrow, you can watch it, and then you'll have it on YouTube too, also, to go back and watch it again, because in case you have any questions. Or you can just email me or message or whatever, I'll put it in there. But this right here is the layout of the locker room that we will be using. You can, they'll probably walk you through the area tomorrow, hopefully, so that you can kind of get an idea of what we're talking about here when you see it up close. Last year we started here, we went through, then we looped around and went out the gym, but we've decided this year not to do that. We're going to have the same entrance, and instead of blocking this hall off over here like we did last year with black plastic in between the rooms, we are going to leave it open, and we are going to exit people when they finish the last room. Instead of sending them out around to the gym, we are going to exit them back through that hall, because there's a door here that they can get out. So they will be exiting through the hall, which will make it a lot easier on us. We will be in a more kind of confined area. We won't have to worry about the gym and spreading that. And last year, a lot of people, you know, they would take off running through the gym and have to chase them down or follow them or holler at them. So we're going to break it down real quick. What we will have is the entrance here. The guide will come in with the people. There will be a short video that we will have kind of given the history or the setup and the, you know, of the asylum. Kind of give you an idea of what, you know, the main character, Frank Reilly. Let me just break it down real quick, kind of the story in a short version. The asylum was in
The asylum was built in 1917, and on October 13th, 1967, they admitted a new patient called Frank Reilly, who is a retired circus clown who totally dismantles the asylum and causes it to be haunted. So with that being October 13th, 1967, on October 21st, 1967, things went crazy. Frank Reilly killed doctors. Other people had turned into clowns at that point, and the asylum was mysteriously, everybody just disappeared inside the asylum. So coincidentally enough, this will be the 50th anniversary of when that date occurred.
So that kind of gives you the storyline behind. There'll be more into it, so we figured probably about a 5-minute video for one. They'll come in, they'll watch a 5-minute video, and then we'll send them off. And that should give them enough time. 5 minutes should put them halfway through, hopefully. So we're looking at a 10 to 15 minute haunt or walk, more or less, give or take a few minutes. But that's kind of what we're estimating. So a 5-minute video will be enough time to get them set up and go through the rooms. So let's start right here. Room number 1 will be the...
Room number 1 is the admission office. In the admission office, we'll have a desk here, and we will need a admission assistant, preferably a girl, behind the desk who will be watching a static TV and turn around and scare. And we'll also need in this room 2 patients, preferably crazy patients who aren't afraid to act like morons. And they'll be sitting in chairs along the hallway as people try to walk through.
So I think too, like when you're thinking, you know, last year a lot of the kids, some of them came, you know, ready, you know, in outfit or costume or dressed up already, and I had a lot of masks to provide, which was the same this year. You know, we have makeup and we have some masks, you know, but if you get in the mentality and think about asylum, you know, you can think like straight jackets, gurneys, crazy people, anything like that. So that's kind of the theme we're going for. You don't really want to show up in like a Wolfman outfit or, you know, anything that's far out here from an asylum. Like you don't want a vampire, you don't want a werewolf, you don't want like anything like that. You want like, you know, the thing with Frank Greeley, you know, him being like an ex-circus clown in the asylum. Towards the end, you know, part of it was Frank Greeley began to like recruit people and turn people kind of sort of into clowns in a way. So you're gonna have to clowns are okay, so but they will be mostly located, there'll be maybe a few clowns wandering, but most of the clowns will be towards the exit in the last room. But anything like asylum wise, you think, you know, straight jackets. If everybody has a straight jacket, that'd be great because that's probably the only thing we don't have or can't find right now. We have a gurney, we have working on IV bags, and
we have hospital gowns.
Hospital gowns, scrubs would be great. Like if you think scrubs, like if anybody can get some old scrubs torn up, you know, fake blood, whatever you want on them. But just think to that effect. So they'll come out, they'll enter here on room 1, come out into the open hall here. Like I said, this whole hall is going to be open, but it's completely dark. And there'll be fog machines and strobe lights throughout the whole area. So don't think that because it's going to be open, people's going to be able to see, because you can't. I mean, last year we had, I turned the fog up to probably way more than I should, and you couldn't even see between this hall and this hall. There was no line of visibility. Like so, because the one fog machine was located right here. But we have 3 or 4. So we have one here, we have one here, and one here. So we locate them out throughout the asylum. So, but anyway, so you leave room 1, you come through the hall, and enter room 2, which is the triage room.
The triage room, as you enter, we will have a patient sitting here in a chair. They will also have an IV, a fake IV hooked up to them. And hopefully we can get glow-in-the-dark liquid in the IV bag. And then we'll also need a nurse standing with that patient. If any of y'all want to be with your buddy, that would be a good place to be. And as you come on in, there will be a gurney here with a dummy. And then we will need a doctor to stand behind the gurney to act like he's working on the patient's head, trying to figure out what it is. And across the hall here, there'll be a sign that says, I never knew much about people until I took one apart to see how it works. So that kind of gives you how this doctor is going to act. I mean, he's taking somebody apart. Then as you come on out, there's 3 shower bays here, which we're going to have those kind of like patient waiting rooms. The first one, we need someone who's willing to be screaming and very vocal, saying that they're innocent, they don't belong there, maybe have their hair up, pigtails, and all crazy. The second one, that will be a dummy in the corner. Look like somebody just kind of scared to death being in there. And then the last one, we will need somebody in we will provide a Hannibal Lecter mask, and we'll try to come up with a straitjacket as well for that person. And they'll need to kind of act like they're restrained and maybe just kind of stare at people as they go by. They could also growl or anything like that. And that's room 2.
So yeah, that breaks that down. So as you can see, like we don't really know exactly how many students are in your class. I mean, last year we had maybe 12 to 16. I don't remember the exact number that showed up. We had a good amount. They all did great. So this year we don't know really how many people we're working with. We have a team. There's just 5 to 6 of us, I think, that are 100% there right now. But there'll probably be more by the time we get closer to the date. So, you know, stuff like that we're explaining can be adjusted on Saturday once we get everything put in and see where we're at. And once too, like I get more like with the class, kind of get an idea of how many people's going to show up. And like I say, I'll give you my email. You can email me. It's jimmypierce@comcast.net, JIMMYPIERCE@comcast.net. But I'll say it again later at the end. So, but yeah, you can email me if you have questions, or you know, just let me know what you kind of want to do, your name and what you want to do, and I will put you, like, you know, we'll lay it out. We got all these on each room a little bit more in depth, so we can lay it down and put you wherever you feel like, or you and your friend or whatever. We'll we'll get it however you feel comfortable. Like there's a lot of people, kids last year, they came in, a couple girls, they weren't sure about scaring or they didn't want to be alone, anything like that. So that's not a problem. Like I say, when they had a great time and they did a great job. They was actually in this room right here that we're getting ready to explain. This last year was like the fluorescent hall. We had black plastic and fluorescent lights and glowing stuff. They did great in there. So this year everything's like switching. We still have fluorescent lights and stuff, but this will be room 3. This is kind of like a bedroom area.
It's the patient's bedroom, which in the middle there's lockers. We'll have what looks like a bed there, and possibly maybe the individual who plays that patient may be chained down or act like they're chained down. There's also 2 rooms here on the side, and we're not sure if we can utilize those rooms or not. But if we can, we'll need 2 patients for those rooms as well. That'll be like a cell. They won't be able to come out. They'll be locked in those bathrooms. And that's all we need for that room is 3 individuals. 1 on the bed, 1 in each room, and possibly even another head nurse there to be like an authoritative figure and kind of tell the patients what they should do, kind of a bossy person.
So yeah, like I say, I ain't got much to say on that one. Once they leave there, they will come back around here, and they will hit like the maternity ward kids room. That's where these little fellas will come into play. We will have the zombie babies kind of in there. I mean, I guess zombie babies is probably not the right term for an asylum, but you can have you can have them in there. And then, this little thing will be in there. It works. So, there it goes. Yeah. So we'll have all types of stuff in there, but this is some of the stuff that will be in that room.
As you enter room 4, which is the maternity ward,